All right, after 2.5 days of tying rebar, I'm done. I have a little bit more I have the low stuff to tie, which I'm gonna leave some of it down while I'm setting forms, but like I'm gonna leave this gap right here to walk through while we're setting forms, while I'm setting forms. But I've got approximately 110 20-foot lengths of rebar. This back wall, again, 16 on center, and 24-inch span in between. I double tied, meaning I doubled the wire over on every joint, which may or may not be overkill, I don't know. But in my opinion, what do you got? You got another deer leg? Somebody must have shot a deer, because that's the second deer leg he's come back with. He brings them back and buries them. Anyway, this is 9 feet 6 inches high. The inspector wants 6 inches between the top of the concrete and the top of the rebar. My hands are sore. It's been drizzling just a little bit. Really hasn't rained that much. You see how dirty my dog is. You see a bird? We got up here this morning before the rain started, and my buddy Vance was gonna start hauling gravel today, but the weather scared him off a little bit. So I hope I can get out without any issues. I've got some good new tires on my truck, so I'm hoping that I can get out. But this has been a learning experience. The one thing the inspector said to me was to call and ask questions. And so this back wall, there's going to be 2 windows in this back wall. Now, our downstairs, this is actually going to be right where the kitchen is. And it just seemed like having a solid wall without having some source of light was just too much. And so I put in these 2 openings where I'm going to use these window bucks. And we're going to put a, what do you call it? Like the basement retention, the pre-formed metal, whatever they're called, basement wells around that, and then we're going to put mini blinds in it and a curtain over it, I'm sure, and just access the light that's available. This is early morning sunlight right here. The sun comes over this hill right here. Every one of these trees that still have leaves on it are my precious plum trees, which is kind of funny that they still have leaves. But anyway, this is all number 4 1/2-inch rebar, 3 pieces of rebar over these 4040 openings. You know, this is a heck of a lot of work. The bid, one of the bids that I got was going to end up being about $15,000 to $17,000 at least. By doing this all myself, I'm going to end up doing it for about half of that, probably $7,000 to $9,000 right in there. 110 pieces of rebar at about $5 to $6 a stick, depending on where I got them. So I got some money in rebar, but I'm saving money naturally on labor by doing this all myself. I've used 5 rolls of tie wire, and I've got my faithful tie pliers that I've had for years, but this is enlightening to say the least. So once we get the forms set, so I'm going to pick the forms up probably Monday just to be safe, let it dry out a little bit, and pick them up on Monday. There's the deer leg, and then I have maybe a week window to get this done before the weather looks like it's going to change up a little bit. But thank goodness the weather's been exceptionally warm. it really has been nice. You know, it's been 70 degrees, which is, I think, abnormally warm. And I hope that stays and continues. But I'm worried that it's going to change. I've gotten a few of the other landowners willing to pitch in and pay to haul gravel. And Vance helped us line up about 500 yards of gravel for an exceptional price. So we're going to put the gravel down, and we are going to hope that really assists in not only getting up here, but once it does snow, it's going to assist in plowing. Put some pretty aggressive tires on my truck, although I don't care for those BFGs with the mud. They don't do very well in the mud. They just coat, although again up here it doesn't really matter what tire you have. But my mom's in town. She wants to come up and see what we've done. She's trying to talk us into buying a house in town, which I think is kind of funny. But anyhow, setting forms next week for sure. I found a company that'll rent me the forms for about $1,500. And I have 5 days to get them back. From the time I pick them up, the time I return them, I have 5 days. Otherwise, it starts going up naturally. So